I go out in places and I see certain people are getting very loud, they're arguing, they're very rude to wait staff, it makes me cringe on the inside.
So today is gonna be all about me.
But I don't call it black fatigue, I call it ghetto fatigue, ratchet fatigue.
It is the culture, the society, and the environment you are raised in.
While they sitting on the porch smoking a blunt, can't get a better job because they can't pass a drug test. Stop shaming little black kids who are smart to the point that they stop trying to get A's because it's a bad thing.
Black fatigue, let's talk about it. I just finished my 5-mile walk at the park. I commented on this girl's video, this black woman's video. She was on a plane eating a chicken wing with her bonnet on, and showed a white man sitting beside her and saying, I bet he didn't think he'd smell chicken, or something like that. I can't even find the video, and I can't even find my comments or the notifications that I received from my comments. I think the video got taken down, honestly. Cool. But black fatigue, let's talk about it, because my dad is black, my mom is white. Several times a year the debate always comes around that mixed people aren't black, and I don't really get it. I know who I am. I don't care what y'all consider me as. My ID says black, my birth certificate, honestly I don't know what that says. I think that says other. I was told to put other as a kid on like the intergrade testing. Either way, I know who I am, so I never gave a but black fatigue is a real thing, and people, when they're using it, they're not saying all black people. They're saying the stereotypical behaviors. They're saying the loudness, the always wearing your bonnet out, always being loud and wrong, trying to leave without paying for your bill, whether that's at a sit-down restaurant, stealing. And yes, other races do these things too. We know that. But black people make up 13 to 14% of the United States population, and we, whatever y'all consider me as, it's a disproportionate amount of black people that have these issues compared to other races, even though that there's not many of us here. So it is a real thing. It is a real thing, because when I go out in places and I see certain people are getting very loud, they're arguing, they're very rude to wait staff, it makes me cringe on the inside, and I just look and shake my head. It's embarrassing. I get secondhand embarrassment so much. I will not go out to eat with people if they're going to be rude. So I don't even like to honestly meet new people until I can see or observe how they act. Like, it is a real thing, and people are getting tired of it, and you can't get upset because people are getting tired of it. It's not racism. I don't view it as racism. Do y'all view it as racism? No. I honestly do not. And calling it black fatigue, I guess they could call it ghetto fatigue or cultural fatigue, but whatever the term would be, they would have an issue with it. The victim mindset, the people blaming, like, please, we gotta get over that. It's gonna take more people coming from the black community calling it out in order for it to hopefully change. Will it change? I don't know. But yeah, I'm tired of it too. I'm tired of it too, because I don't raise my children to act like that. I don't put my children in certain spaces. They're not used to seeing like that. So when they see it, they don't know what to do. You know, like, they're embarrassed of it, and they're like, why would someone act like that? Or why would they say that? Why are they wearing their pajamas out in public? You know, like, it's not okay. So yeah, what are your thoughts on black fatigue? What are your thoughts on the term, and do you think it's a real thing or not? Let's talk about it.
I gotta say this, right? You see, that is a big thing right now on TikTok, but it's been talked about by black men since Kingdom Come. What do I mean? Black men have been talking about it for over 10 years. Even before the manosphere was talking about it, you had men talking about it in barbershop 10 years ago. 15 years ago. I'm telling my age. I'm 43. So I've heard it for quite a while. It was one of the reasons why I left the shores of America. Now, I got to say this. You know, the man, the Godfather, was shamed for talking about certain things. I wanted to react to a certain video, but I didn't want to because I didn't want to disrespect his channel. I didn't get a response in time. But I have another video here of a woman. He's talking, pretty much explaining how men are getting tired of it because he was involved in those barbershop talks as well, had men talking to him as well. So, you know what happened? And it happens to me, it happens to every one of us. You see it happen to guys all the time in the black manosphere. Shame for it. I talk about it quite a lot on my channel. I know you've noticed lately every other video is about black fatigue. I'm talking for you guys, black fatigue. So now it's finally coming out. And I'm not shocked at all because people are tired of it. And I'm happy to see black men and black women tired of it. It's a great thing. But let me get into this next video here.
Okay, go. Let's go. You didn't let me get my moment, so I want to say my name is Khadija Diallo, and I'm graduating today. I don't like how you snatched the mic out of my hand, so today is going to be all about me.
To be embarrassed.
Oh, drops the mic. Congratulations!
Program with a bonnet.
Well, far be it from me to have Kevin Samuels on my page. But it's an interesting question. As a history buff, I actually love the Ode to the 1700s, in concept. But since a lot of people might not see the time of Sojourner Truth and Jarena Lee as
They're wearing it as a fashion statement. You see, they're dressed to the nines, right? Wearing it. She's showing women that are dressed to the nines wearing a bonnet as a fashion statement. Nowadays, it's being worn out to showcase that you're lazy. They're wearing that in pajamas, like the other lady said. But she's trying to defend it. But let me let her finish.
last era of us wearing bonnets in public. I really want to know what's happening. Over time, especially in the last century, black folks have been the most stylish among Americans, as opposed to the least. So is this fashion sense an ode to the colonial era?
Dressed up.
Or something else? Let me know in the comments.
None of your business. It's not an answer. She's trying to defend it while showing ladies dress to the nines. Women are going out with bonnets, not dressed at all, in pajamas. It's an issue. And the fact you don't see it as an issue is the problem. We're never going to advance as a people.
Morning, ladies and jelly spoons. I know I like to be a leader, not a follower, but this trend of black fatigue, I felt it is only necessary that I jump on the train because let's get real, it's a thing. But I don't call it black fatigue, I call it ghetto fatigue, ratchet fatigue.
Yes.
I don't like to use the N word, but N fatigue.
Real talk.
Yeah.
You know, ninja fatigue. As an African immigrant, I have to say, I am going to talk about this in a different kind of point of view. Okay? All right. Now, when I was coming to America, I was told there are people who act a certain way. And let me tell you my disappointment when I saw them acting in that way. Yeah? These are the people who scream racism all the time. When they do something wrong and they're held accountable, they scream racism. They claim they cannot be racist because they are black, because they lack the power to be racist, because system of power, even if systemic racism is a bunch of... They are the same people who you see sagging their pants. One day we went to Publix with my son and I saw one of them at the store. I told him, Baba, if you ever wear your pants like that, I will whoop you. I don't care if you're 25 years old, I will whoop you. Are we clear? Don't do that. That's a gangster. We're not doing gangster crap, alright? You have sense, act like you have some sense. These are the same people who use the N-word amongst themselves and it's okay. But when anyone else uses it, it's racist. which doesn't make any sense because it's either it's racist and neither of us uses it, or it's not racist and we can all use it. Make up your minds. So yes, ghetto fatigue is real. These are the people who go to a certain cruise that starts with a C and they just ghettoize the whole place. They ghettoize everything. They show up to a nice event and they start doing this. Yeah, just twerking everywhere, just twerking. Everywhere they are, they're just twerking. They're wearing the longest lashes and the longest wigs, the longest braids, which they think white people should not wear because they like to gatekeep them. Because, it's black culture. There's no such thing as black culture. So anywho, the point of this whole rant is to say I am also tired of the ghetto-ness and I have ghetto fatigue. Blacktivist fatigue, really, when you think about it. Yeah, so anyway, have a good week, y'all.
Yeah, she's being comical, but she's right, though. Ninja fatigue, that's exactly what it is. And also, men are not exempt, right? If you're walking around with your pants sagging, selling drugs because you think it's cool, it's sad because we already know that why that's done. Like, there's been talks on a lot of young black men doing that to get who? It leads right back. Man, it's sad. And then they're raising the young black boys. Who's raising them? The ladies. Look, you are leading a community. And yes, it should be more fathers in the home, but you should turn to the men in your family. And yes, I do think some men in the family need to step up. Some do. Now, black men are starting to become stronger leaders. You see more black men having an impact in their children's lives. They're standing around. But when you have a large percentage of single black mothers who keep having kids with the same 20% of men that don't want them, or not even just the 20%, because they don't qualify for those guys. The same pookies, it's an issue.
So here's my honest opinion about black fatigue. Black fatigue actually exists. However, black fatigue does not exist in a way that a lot of non-black people think. It has nothing to do with race and everything to do with culture. It is the culture, the society, and the environment you are raised in. It has nothing to do with race, and it never was about race, because if it was about race, then every black person would be acting like that. Black fatigue is a poison well that is consumed by certain locations and environments. Another majorly important factor is accountability. If black people in general don't hold each other and others accountable for our and their actions, there will be no change within our communities. The destruction of property and violence, the need to be extremely loud and ratchet for no reason. I've seen some of these videos from non-white people talking about the black fatigue, and they do have a point. And for the black people who is watching this, believe me, I did not want to hear any of non-black people. However, some of them, not all of them, because some of them were just straight up racist, but some of them had some solid points. When it comes to gentrification, credit score, stimulus check, lack of funding for black public schools and neighborhoods, government, the CIA, United Healthcare, all of this was targeted towards the black community so we can end up how we are today. At this moment in 2025, the CIA and the government, they're running on autopilot because we're doing the work for them. They have done enough damage towards the black community that they can sit back, crack open a and watch us tear each other apart. The United States' greatest weapon they have on the black community is the black community not holding each other accountable for our actions. Finally! Truthfully, we need to start doing that more. We need to follow in our ancestors' footsteps, because what they had back then, they had it right. Not everything has to change and not everything has to be progressive. There are some things that they done in the past was better as it was, and that's completely fine. I am not saying we should just roll over and let them do what they want to do. Instead of only striving for black excellence, we should also strive for black power. Allow the ratchet, the ghetto, the ignorant and uneducated. I have mutual love for them because they are my brothers and sisters. Even then, most of the time, I do not associate with them. But it's because of people like this that exist in our community that gets the spotlight and paints the picture of what black people seem like. They get all the attention. They always end up on the news. Why? It's because they cause a distraction. They cause a problem for other people. And you know who are the first ones to put us on the internet? You guessed it. The media. Hell, even our own people do it as well for clout, for fame, for money. They sell out our own people, make us look bad
sell out.
just to fill up their pockets. And that is another problem to address in our community. Stop labeling us and stop painting us negatively just to make yourself look better or richer. That is why, ladies and gentlemen, when people like this in our community gets the spotlight, many people automatically assume that we are a monolith and we act like them. It's either you are ghetto, loud, and trashy, or you are whitewashed. They never look in between the lines and understand that black people are completely far from a monolith and we can be absolutely anything we want. Every non-black person, and yes, that includes every person of color, they always go out of their way to tell us that they are not a monolith, that they are all different. We are too. But while we have our own issues, it's important to teach history, but it's also important that we do what we can to change what is happening now. That is all I have to say on the matter. This is Onyx, and I'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, I understand what he's saying, but that's what actually the Black Manosphere was doing. That's why I showed Kevin Samuels' video. But it wasn't only Kevin Samuels. That was pushed by the whole Black Manosphere. I'll be honest, you got to give them credit, right? You got to give them credit. Like, their agenda was to shock and wake up black women. And it didn't work. Like the video I was going to show today, the girl flipped out on Kevin Samuels for telling the truth, called him gay, and oh yeah, we come over here and hang up on her. And then he made fun of her. He tore her to shreds. But that's what happened. That's what was happening. That's what was being done. That's what's being done on the internet. And of course, they're making money from it. Like, why would you not make money from it? It needs to be exposed. And now everyone's reacting to it. That's great. People finally woke up. And I'm sure a lot of people have been watching, the internet and watching the Black Manosphere as well. You got to give them credit where credit's due. Because this is an issue. And this is a young brother that has an intelligent mind. And this is how more young black men need to be. You can tell he's a critical thinker. And he's young. He could be the next Barack Obama, right? He could be the next rocket scientist, astrophysicist, whatever you call him, right? That man has a great future ahead of him. I'm sure he's looking to go down a career path like that. But guess how he be looked at? He'll be seen as corny. Come on, talk to me, somebody. He'll be put in the place as a corny black man. No black girls talking to him, especially if he's coming from the hood. If he's living in the suburbs, my brother, that's the greatest thing for you. I went from the hood to the suburbs when I was younger. Oh man, the white girls are gonna love you. So I'm behind to put that on him, but it's true because they're not gonna like him. You gotta be real. He can find a black woman in the suburbs too. I'll say that.
Came up with the title Black Fatigue. Must have seen the bags under my eyes, honey. Because I have been tired. And I thought it was just me. And folks kept telling me it was just me. How you turning on your people? You don't like black people? I never said I don't like black people. I don't like ratchetness. I don't like the constant obsession with oppression. I don't like people walking around constantly talking about slavery like it was 20 minutes ago. Everything is slavery related. Democrats now, all of the slurs and attacks they have on conservative blacks trace back to slavery. You can't come up with nothing new.
Victim mentality.
I am beyond tired of it. I am tired of people I know talking about, the white man this, the white man that, while they sitting on the porch smoking a blunt, complaining because they can't get a better job. Because they can't pass a drug test. How about that?
Man.
I am tired of people complaining and talking about the white man this and the white man that, and you done abandoned your kids. Your baby mamas, plural, ain't seen you in years, but the white man this and the white man that. And these sisters out here having babies with 52 different men, and you want to complain about how...
Yeah, it's not 52 different men, actually. She doesn't know the numbers, but she's cooking. It's a select few men that they're doing it with, and they're the majority. But I second that motion. Whatever she's saying, I second that.
How oppressed you are. Honey, if you had oppressed your knees together, that wouldn't have been the problem that you're facing now, would it? I am so over it. I don't even identify as anything but Nakia now. I don't even identify as a woman no more because they done turned that into 52 different genders. I identify as Nakia, period. You can tell me you taking my black card. Honey, when the last time you put some money on that black card? You can have it. Please take it. It ain't even real. Especially if you can only get a black card if you vote for Democrats.
She reminds me of my grandmother. My grandmother had that complexion like that. My grandmother was lighter than her though. My grandmother, if you saw her face, she was Indian. That's for another day. A lot of black people are actually Indian. I'll talk another day.
Black fatigue is the best thing that ever happened to this country. Because the fact that black people can run up and say, oh, we're oppressed, and then everybody goes out and riots and tears up our own personal neighborhoods, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the fact that one person can have something happen to them. And just because that person is black, now all of us got to be oppressed by it. Folks walk around talking about they can't breathe. You wasn't even there. I love this trend. I hope that it helps our country, first of all, so people don't keep going out and voting for Democrats just because a black person say they oppressed. I also hope that it helps the black community. It is time that we stop thinking ratchetness is cute. It is time that people twerking in a Lululemon is not something we celebrate. It is time that if a man tells you he got 4 or 5 baby mamas, that you don't go, oh, that's cool. It is time that we stop shaming little black kids who are smart to the point that they stop trying to get A's because it's a bad thing to get an A, to be on honor roll.
Wow.
It is time that we stop with the frontier type ladies. You got a job, you have no customer service skills at all, and you take pride in being horrible at any kind of customer service you got in your little pinky toe. I love this trend because I'm tired. And I know a whole bunch of black people who are tired too. We are tired of black America being on the bottom by design and not by the white man's design. By our own creative minds that we keep coming up with more and more reasons to be ratchet, to have slavery as the forefront of our thoughts, and oppression to be something we shoot up like a drug. I'm not only fatigued, y'all. I'm black exhausted.
Couldn't agree more.
Wow, that was powerful. Whew. Respect to you. Respect to her. What's her name? Nakia Dion. Definitely check her out on TikTok. She put it down. She spoke. She's black exhausted. That's the new one. Forget black fatigue. She is black exhausted, and we are too. And you know the wild thing. It's time for the community to start coming together and speaking to some of the minds that are on the internet, right? Not me. I mean, I speak on it, but I'm not one of those great minds that speaks on things. Start speaking to some of the guys in a black manosphere and coming together and, you know, put something together because it's needed.
So glad that black fatigue came across my timeline this morning. And I will actually be able to say black people around the world, whether you're French, Latino, whatever, we're tired. And for you guys who don't know, there's a difference between black people and the N-word. Black people don't feel oppressed. They want to change their circumstances. They want to go to school and they want to make a better way for themselves. And even if they're currently on EBT, they have a plan to get off of it and be successful. The N words want Section 8 forever, want to be on EBT forever, messes up their neighborhoods.
You know what's wild? Like, people see Trump as racist. I don't see him as racist. Actually, he was kind of a part of it, like how white people are part of it in a way to where they have all of these programs and they try to cater it to black people when it's really more white people on it. But, you know, the ghetto hoochie mamas are known for being on it. And he canceled it because it's a lot of white ghetto people too. We'll talk about that for another video. But he canceled it, and he canceled all of those programs that cater because it's what the community relies on. It's crippling us. It's giving us an excuse. But let me let him cook.
Burn things, tear down things, and nobody wants to live next to them. So there's nobody more tired and fatigued than black people of N-words. And you guys don't understand that. So when you have a person like Shiloh that comes out and calls this kid an N-word, even though you don't think it was appropriate, you can understand where she's coming from, because we don't even want to live by you. And so now you're getting upset that someone decides to stand up, because we live in a world where the N-words get to say anything that they want to say to anyone, call people out of their names, be rude, use all type of slanders. And the first moment someone of a different nationality says something, then it's a problem. They're racist, you're misogynist, all these different things. And I'll tell you, I'm tired too. And I am so glad that someone just came straight out and said it. But if you guys don't know, there's a difference between black people and the N-word. And honestly, black people are tired of all of the N-word.
Newsflash, white people don't want to live around ratchet black people, and black people don't want to live around ratchet black people. I mean, it's nothing like going to the Walmart on a Sunday morning, and then you see the bonnet crew walk in. Loud, obnoxious, the kids are everywhere, in every aisle, unattended, and that's anywhere you go. No matter what. They're highly emotional, highly sensitive. You can't say nothing. You can't even smile and hold the door for them because they'll look at you like you're crazy. And always the victim of something. Either you stepped on a shoe, you looked at them wrong, you told them good morning. They're never happy, they're never satisfied. And you wonder why normal, good black people move out of the hood as soon as they start getting successful. I was one of those black people that said, man, if I made some money, I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna buy up this, buy up that. I'm gonna support the community. As soon as I got my money, I got the out of there because they don't know how to appreciate it. And my suburban kids don't need to be dealing with that crab in a barrel mentality. Never take accountability for nothing. So yeah, black fatigue is a thing.
You can't make this up.
And I'll tell you, a lot of people are tired. They're tired of dealing with these kind of people on a daily basis. I mean, I get anxiety when I walk inside of a mall nowadays. I mean, because you got these YNs running around and they don't respect nothing. So I don't care what anybody says. White America is tired of you, and we are too.
Yeah. You know, I'm happy. When I was younger, right? I moved out. I was 15 going on 16. I finally moved out. So I experienced a full life in Queens, New York, right? And then I moved to Long Island. You know the crazy thing that happened? If you do the research, you'll see when I moved to Long Island, it started to become 10 times worse. It was still the hood. It started to become 10 times worse than living in the city. I'm telling you guys, no lies. The crime skyrocketed. It was because of gang culture, but you had MS-13 out there having shootouts with gangs in broad daylight on Sunrise Highway. Yes, this was happening. That wasn't happening in the hood. It happened sometimes. Of course, that happens everywhere. But it was a regular basis. And I said, whoa, what did I move to? I remember, I was hanging out and a guy I know got shot. The guys that did it, they shot somebody in Hempstead, drove up to Roosevelt, shot someone else, drove up to Freeport and then shot the guy I know. It was crazy. That wasn't happening where I was from. It was happening. I grew up in a drug era. Yeah, I grew up around Supreme Team. I saw drug dealer. Yeah, I saw a lot. But yeah, guys, people are getting tired of what I just what I just said. That's when my people got out. They tried to bring me somewhere better. And I appreciate them for it. They had the same mentality as his brother. Get out while you can before it's too late. But yeah, guys, this has been talked about for so long. I make a lot of videos about it. I know you guys have seen it recently. Like, man, why is Jay always talking about something with the black community? Why is he always talking about this? Why is he always talking about that? Because it's a problem. It's a problem. And now you see the whole America is tired of the problem. But what's happening is you have a couple of white people that are chiming in too hard. Like I saw a YouTuber react to a video on TikTok. I should have played it actually. A YouTuber, he did a video on the same thing, and somebody racist came on and said, "Oh, that's why you black people that's this." It's like, no, as the one guy said, it's for us to police each other, not for you to come in talking what you talking. Like, be quiet and sit there and let us take care of it. Yeah, guys, but thank y'all for watching. Peace out. See you next video.